Hey everyone, welcome to this rockin' Apollo Distance beat, which is also my theme. Which is I like this song for Apollo. We all heard gunshots, but no one saw the shooting.
This is insane!
Just before the shooting took place, the shooter was heard on his headset, telling someone to press the switch. The next moment, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flame. We know that a remote trigger igniter was inside the guitar. From all these facts, we can draw only one conclusion. The crime did not take place during the third act, but during the ballad performance, the second act.
What?
I like the auto-tune guitar. Order, order, order. But that goes against the evidence. What does, Your Honor? This crime was carried out according to the lyrics of that song, yes? Hey, he's right, look! The bullet is supposed to come after the fire. You're thinking about it the wrong way. Huh? Look! Why would the shooter craft the events of the day that follow the lyrics anyway? It's an awful lot of trouble to go through, with little merit for the person doing it. Well, I'm sure whoever it was had some reason. Yes, they did. A reason that made it advantageous to follow the lyrics.
You're saying the order was reversed on purpose?
Reverse, Prosecutor Gavin?
If the criminal followed the lyrics strictly, then yes. The shooting would have had to come after the guitar burst into flame. Yet her forehead has raised another possibility. He's claiming that the bullet came not after but just before the fire.
Couldn't have put it better myself. We were only meant to think that the shooting came after the guitar burst into flame. That was the criminal objective. The crime followed the lyrics to a point, but that was the ruse. Why else would the killer risk discovery by moving the body? That was the final touch to make us think that he followed the lyrics the whole way. Order! Order! That would explain this most unusual situation. It does. The killer changed the order of the events to create himself an alibi. In other words, the killer was someone who had an alibi for the third set, but not the second.
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but sadly it has. Let me tell you why your little fairy tale makes no sense at all. Oh, it sounds good, I'll give you that. You've given us a reason why the killer bothered following the lyrics of my song. But I question your logic, or it's flawed from the very beginning.
Flawed?
Yes, a contradiction, Her Forehead, one I've pointed out several times, no less. At the time of the crime, the small window at the scene was closed. How could Lamirar have heard a voice through it?
Oh.
I know that you would like to divert our attention from this critical fact, but you're basing your entire line of reasoning on a false premise.
Right. Lamirar's testimony is my entire case. That voice she heard, the shooter's voice. What if she couldn't hear it, Apollo? Look, what do we have? A man saying press the switch, and near the crime scene we have a switch, which acts as a more remote trigger for an igniter. And last but not least, Prosecutor Gavin's flaming guitar. It couldn't have all been coincidence, but how do I make it work?
I see a more direct line of questioning is required. When the crime scene was investigated, immediately after the crime, the window was closed. Care to tell us how Lamirar heard the voice?
A key point to be sure. Mr. Justice, can you explain this to the court? Okay, Justice, you got one thing to prove and only one thing only. Lamirar heard a voice, and she heard it during the second set. Think, how was Lamirar able to hear the voice? She was somewhere else, pretty much. When we investigated the scene, the window was closed. The shooter had no reason to close it had it been open, either. Meaning, it was impossible to hear the voice through the window.
It's good to hear you making sense again. For a moment I was afraid you might be a Virginian too.
As I was saying, Lamirar could not heard the voice through that window. So there can only be one explanation. She heard the voice from another location entirely. What's this?
You do amuse me so. And here I thought you and Good Sense were back on speaking terms. Now I'm afraid you and Good Sense speak two entirely different languages. Shall I interpret for you, her forehead? Lamira clearly stated she heard the voice through that small window. And there is only one small window at the scene.
Are you sure? Think about it. Isn't there another small window at the scene? There is. Ah, I know that look. He wants us to ask him. Very well. You claim Lamira heard the voice from another location. Mr. Justice, show us where this location was. Lamira heard the voice from here. We want to do this because we kept on hearing about this air vent. This air vent. There's a small window right here. Wait a minute. Is it that or is it this? This is where I get confused a lot of the times, is where the small window is. Oh, here it is. I was about to say. I know I saw like there was something above. And I hope this is right. This is where Lamira heard the voice from. But there's no small window. That's the air vent. Yes, got it. Nailed it. What did she tell us? She said she's a Borgian, familiar with our language. It's not a stretch to imagine she called this air vent a small window.
Now you've done it. You've gone beyond ridiculous and into ludicrous.
You working up a cold sweat?
So Lamira was up in the ventilation system listening to this man's voice?
That's the only logical explanation, yes.
Logical, I do not think this word means what you think it means, her forehead.
Okay, what about it isn't logical?
It hardly merits saying. Why would Lamira be in the ventilation system? Hiding like a rat, no offense intended to her, of course.
The explanation for that is simple, Prosecutor Gavin. Isn't it, Lamira? You have been listening to our discussion here, yes? Yes. I admit it had me quite confused since yesterday. Yes, the small window was closed. But why should that mean I could not hear through it? I feared our prosecutor might himself need an interpreter. The problem here is words. Lamira, this small window through which you heard the voice, was it up high on the ceiling of the room, not low on the wall? Yes, it was up on the ceiling. Now this right here is kind of confusing because where she's going to be, where you're going to see right now, is not up high. I always believe they meant up high above her, but I guess they meant up high but below her. Yes, it was up on the ceiling.
What?
Order, order, I will have order. Witness, you will clarify this statement to the court. Are you in fact saying that you were up above the ceiling of the room, and that's where you heard the moment of the crime? Yes, in fact I was. I am sorry, I never imagined it would become such an important point. Yes, well, why the heck were you up there? I believe it's time for another testimony. I'm not sure I can't. May I remind you, this is a murder trial. We will hear your testimony. Tell us why you witnessed the crime from above the ceiling of that room. Please. Well, looks like I'm on the right track. On the road again. I really hate being on that road again. Yes, I was above the ceiling when I heard the voice. I had heard there was a small window there before. It was the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I've heard. As to why I was there, I cannot say. I am bound to secrecy on this matter. And we have something that can prove. Bound to secrecy. In my line of work, one has many obligations to uphold. But you say you were in the middle of your performance. So this did happen during the second set. I did not witness the crime, you must understand. I only know what I heard. Yes, but you must tell us what you were doing in detail.
That is what the cross-examination is for, yeah, Herr Forehead? Our mission in this court is to discern the truth. No obligation, no binding pact may hinder that mission.
Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination. What are you going to do, Apollo? I'm going to find out the truth. Now, when I first did this, You will pretty much go through her testimony like water, because you will not be able to. This is not given to you in direct detail, other than binding pact. But unless you remembered something from a previous talking of a character, you will not understand what they were highlighting for you in detail. What you want to do is you want to go to the point where she says she's bound to secrecy, and you want to present a videotape. The videotape that you got from a mysterious magician. Magician. Your Honor, what do you think about the witness test statement? I'm not sure I follow you. It's clearly contradicts the— oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, you know what? I just realized something. I thought I was going to for the fourth, but I am supposed to go to this one and present the tape. I am stupid. Videotape. Let's present this. Please let us be right. Lemure, truth be told, the reason for your presence above the ceiling is quite clear, especially when you consider what happened during your performance. What happened? Yes, it's all right here. It's all right here on this video. As you remember, she disappeared, and this is the big part of the thing with people. I wonder how she managed to do this. And how they did this impressed me. It's amazing how they managed to do that. It really impressed me, actually. I was like, wow. Talk about flashy. How they managed to coordinate that robe of hers, I don't know. I think they explained that too, but I don't exactly remember. As we can see, Lemuel was clearly on stage for her entire performance. Ah! Though it saddens me to be so realistic. Lemuel is incapable of actually vanishing, let alone teleportation. So the only explanation is that she was hidden from view, and during that time she moved to the back of the forum. Apollo! What, Trucy? It's not nice to reveal a magician's secrets. It's against the rules. But I'm a lawyer, I'm not supposed to be nice. This is very fascinating. But how is it possible? There's only 20 seconds between when she disappeared and reappears. She couldn't have moved that fast. Is something wrong, Prosecutor Gavin? You gotta go to the bathroom? This was his concert, his show. He knows how the illusion was performed. Aha! He's just realizing his own oversight. He's looking at the cross-section diagram again. Let's look at this cross-section diagram. Here we can trace a route through the ceiling. It goes from the stage through the backstage to the rear of the forum. Recall Lemuel's testimony from yesterday. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it. She went from the stage to the backstage exit. A perfect description of this route above the ceiling. Lemuel knew of this because of was power in the illusion, but she wasn't the only one who knew.
What?
Just now in the lobby, Machi told me something. I know if I opening vent, I can leave stage and backstage.
He said that?
Oh, were you not informed, Prosecutor Gavin?
I knew about the vanishing act, of course. Yet I had no idea of the route that would be used. Why didn't the magician tell me?
Magicians only reveal details of their acts in a need-to-know basis. They're the bread and butter of magician's life, you know. Which is why he bound Lemuel to secrecy. Well, Lemuel, I'm impressed, Mr. Attorney. Machi was right about you. So, what does this mean? Are you saying you used this route above the ceiling? I did. Well, that's that, but I'm still a little confused. Why is that, Your Honor? As I said before, There was very little time between. Oh, see, there's very little time between, pretty much, for her to get over there. So there's no way she could have gotten there that fast with hearing the voice. That's a good question. Can the witness explain this to the court? I cannot. Very well, Mr. Justice. Yes. It's all up to you. Do your thing. What thing, Your Honor? You need to explain how Lamira was able to teleport like she did, or I'm throwing your case out the bath with bathwater. Ugh. Why do I get picked on? It's Lamira who isn't going along with the program here, as I have stated before. I am not at liberty to speak of illusion that night in detail. Okay, I guess we're gonna finish this off in the next part of Apologizes Ace Attorney with the last part of the illusion being told. Miss Justice, it will be your job to wring the truth out of her. Yes, if you would, please. Oh my god, she just told me to abuse her. I feel like a student before finals. Good luck, Apollo. So, see you guys next time.